All right, guys. So, recap before we talk about all the wins. Another good day, wonderful, and do an update on where the market's sitting right now. I broke the PDT rules in the small account again. Not used to a small account or having to worry about opening and closing trades in the same day. um, it's not really a big deal. It's gonna just be a little restrictive on how many trades I could take in a day. Luckily, we broke 2,000 before this happened, so it really shouldn't be a problem for me for how the frequency of my trading. I'm pretty selective. I don't really trade that much. So we'll be about fine. The only thing is like today we took the coin spread, for vertical is what they're called inside Thinkorswim for new people who terminology might flip you up. It's called a spread vertical. It's the same thing. Um, so we traded this spread off the open. We made over 20% there, and that could be a bit. We won't be able to do stuff like that, right? Because the only reason we were able to trade coin is because we were able to do a spread. So there'll be some opportunities that are shut off to us now that we're in a cash count, and then we'll be restricting the number of trades. Will that slow the pace of the growth of this account? Not at all. It's not really going to be a big deal. And I'll show you guys. We'll take this to back to an account that can have margin with no restrictions. No problem. I've grown lots of small accounts. This isn't even the first small account challenge we've done. It's just the first one where I really wanted to focus on the exact number of contracts and to share it in real time, the execution of it. And so far, people are loving that series, making a lot of money, learning how to control risk, learning to take those profits, right? Like IWM, it was really hard to part ways with that, because of just how crazy bullish this is, guys. Like we're flipping on the monthly, like we're finally going to get the cup and handle here. This is about a 5 year long cup and handle. It's a little generous, more like a 4 year. But and we're just now flipping on the daily. Like it's barely above one. It's at point 0.4. So this is getting overbought on shorter time frames, but just consolidating overbought and just keeps rallying as everyone is like, oh crap, we're not here, we're late, and they're piling into this position. You know, shout out to Abe. Abe would probably appreciate me giving him due credit for being long IWM since the dip and never stopping. He's been running this all the way up. He's got massive lead positions. But I'm a little bit different. I like the time and I like to chase the momentum when I get true validation of it. But give him his praise, because he's the small cap whisperer and he's been killing it. Honestly, he's having kind of like a flagship year this year. So great job, Abe. And his update on his bot, we're already like 3 days late on getting that out, but it is coming. It might not come until this weekend. But anyways, let's talk about some of these setups here. Etsy is another stock that's having a fantastic breakout here. We're breaking out of a rising wedge on the daily here, which is just, I mean, it's gorgeous. There's actually been several stocks like this just this week. A lot of these small caps that we've been watching, Intel is going to be on our radar soon too. We might be trading that one soon too, believe it or not, because it's setting up a cup and handle. But like Sono here, catching an extension, and honestly, this thing's not giving any pullbacks. Just keeps marching higher with IWM. So like we caught this earlier this week. We bought into this move, and that was like over 100% earlier. And now Etsy out of the blue coming on my radar. Some of these alerts that are going off right now that we're catching trades on. We're super early to these because I promise you they're not on anyone's radar. I even did a search alert on the socials to see how many other people are like watching Sono or watching Etsy. No one. No one. So when these things start really like flipping on the daily and catching some momentum, they can run a lot hotter. The big thing on Etsy right here is you look really great on the weekly, you have great confirmation there, and you're about to flip on the monthly. This thing's been bearish since 2021. And we're just about to break out of that momentum pattern. And that's really, I'd actually be curious to see what the Bollinger Bands look like here. Oh my gosh. Look at them squeeze. If you're unfamiliar with Bollinger Band strategies, what you're looking for here is I don't want a highlighter. You're looking for when they tighten like this. When they widen, it's just pretty normal. But what you're looking for is when they get tight, like they did here. And it signifies that there's think of it like you're just compressing a spring, right? TTM actually is built in with Bollinger, so I typically don't look at just the Bollinger Bands. I typically watch the TTM, but Bollinger, a lot of traders prefer Bollinger because it's less factors built into it than TTM. But that's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Then we also have the missed trade that I also want to touch on was Apple. This was on our daily watch list, and this was a good trade if you took it. Especially like that initial breakout was, I tried to actually buy that initial breakout right off the open. Contracts immediately went up like 40%. And I was just like, okay, I missed it. The back test though, back to the previous day's highs, like coming back into this range. If you bought that and you traded that, I mean, good on you. That's a beautiful trade right there. Just a beautiful trade, like right off that spike here, coming right back into this area off this pre-market. Beautiful trade. I wonder if actually we should have a really nice like bullish divergence there too. It was sketchy on the open on the 15-minute, honestly, but even there at that high, you're not like hitting a new overbought high in the RSI, but you're breaking out to new highs. So it's there. It's small. It's not as good as it's not the best one we've seen, but it's a good trade. It's a good trade out the pre-market if you scalped it higher. Well done. The big one, the scalp that we did go for today was UNH. We were watching this kind of bull flag setup. Honestly, I wanted a much bigger move out of this. So when it started to stall out, I just took the quick 17-18% that we had, but it ended up doing a nice stair stepping higher. And we actually closed the day near new highs. So we're going to actually set an alert here over that after hours high, and we're going to try to keep an eye on it tomorrow. Make sure that's just a reminder, just in case I forget to look at it in the morning. Because that's setting up really nicely. In the long term, I might lose my shares here because I sold calls against this. They might get called away, but they're getting called away in really good profits. So I'm not going to cry about it. They too much, at least. Google's pulling back nicely. We sold calls here actually. So I actually kind of like to see that. Looks like there was some news today. I have not caught up on that at all because all I've looked at is the small caps and just kind of drooled over how beautiful that IWM chart looks like. I mean, the relative strength, we spotted it early yesterday and we've just rode that hard. We also had the crazy win in AMD today as well. Catching, that's the upside. Couldn't find the symbol there. Really beautiful spike on the open. There was actually an opportunity to come and buy the dip on here. And I was looking to actually get in on that, and I was just distracted. So I do want to watch this to see if we can get a nice continuation. You've got this really like solid top here. So I don't even need this to break new highs. I just need it to break the 185. I believe that is also on longer time frames a major key level here. Yeah, so we actually just want to go ahead and move that to that high. Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3 touches here. By the way, invert, this reverse cup and handle, not a thing. Looking at this chart, I already know people are going to say, oh, cup and handle can't be on the left side. So if you see someone that says that, they don't know their stuff. That's a huge key level. So yeah, well, let's keep an eye on there. You break through that, 200 should come. pretty fast. So we'll swing some 200 calls again. I do have some lottos there that aren't working. They kind of rug the premiums because of the weakness in the overall market. Obviously, we didn't even feel that. Um, keep an eye on QS because QS looks like it's going to get a move here soon. It was kind of a side watch today, but I'm really watching this pattern that we have here. So I want to see if we can get a move over that high. What I really want to see is this daily actually start to turn over here, because we got the RSI SMA cross here, and I would like to see a better confirmation. And the weekly structure here still looks really strong. So I want to see we'll move that up just a little bit more so we don't get faked out on the alert. I'm still not ready to take this though. And it's a good thing we didn't take it today because it's still really weak, but I feel like we're building for a really big move here. That news that we got earlier this year that caused that big spike is still very much on the table and still really, really strong news. So I want to keep an eye there and look for a further continuation. So that's about it, guys. I mean, we hit some bangers. We also sold into the Tesla pop, which was good. Really a bummer to see this have this major pullback here into the wedge. So it's still bullish. It's just being a pain. We still have some of those lottos as you saw in the small account. Like we're still holding these for next week, the $400 calls. And I'm actually not too concerned about those, although they definitely are too far out the money. I would be a lot more comfortable if I was holding like the 380s for next week. But what we're looking for is like 362, like a crazy rally on Thursday or Friday. Totally still on the table. Today might have felt bearish if you were just watching the the large caps here. But this is really just the breadth of the market widening out considerably. So it's really bullish. Does it make sense with what's going on economically? My permanent bears here might be like, what the heck? And no, not at all. I mean, the comments this morning from the Fed were extremely bullish, and I shared those in the commentary this morning where they were saying they might that 50 basis point cut is on the table, and that's why we're getting this massive continuation, because we also got some bullish comments yesterday. So the market's excited about that, which is interesting to me. So now the rallies are broadening out. So I think that if we cut after the market starts to roll over, that could accelerate to the downside. But if we get this cut and the market still looks like this, especially in September, we might just keep crashing up, and then we just might just form a crazy bubble here until we do get the catastrophic headline. Yeah, I don't want to go too far down the macro rabbit hole, but 20 to 30% of companies are going to go bankrupt in the next like 5 years because of AI. So there's if you want to short stuff, your time will come for sure. But right now, like, this is what I call crashing up. This is crashing up. So yeah, let's stick to it. Let's not miss it. We're gonna watch Regretti as another one that I'm gonna have to catch up on what the news was here. It looks like this really started to pick up interest when Google did. So I need to catch up on what that news is. And okay, well, I got way distracted, and now this video is way too long. So if there was a weird cut right there, it's because I just cut out my random ramblings. And we're gonna put this back on the rails. ETHA, we might be forced to chase this higher because Ethereum is getting a nice continuation. BM and R is definitely the preferable trade with a cup and handle set up here. And honestly, I would not be surprised if we can't get a move back into this like range of interest here. So maybe like $100 is doable. So I'll be watching that. That's what I'm watching. And other than that, it's probably time to run through and do some more trade ideas around this current market. RBLX is something that really has my interest right now too. Maybe as a short, but honestly, I want to be a buyer here for the long term soon. I guess hubs is something else we should talk about. We'll probably be buying some calls here soon, but not yet. I need this. I need this to come test the daily, and then I need to see what these candles start looking like in here. Weekly still very, 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 very bearish. There actually might have been an opportunity to come in today. What do we do today? So the opportunity is really tomorrow. If the yeah, if you we can reclaim that double bottom there, then I'll come in there and take that. Yeah. Anyways, that's stuff I should put in the trade ideas. I'm getting derailed again. It's just exciting, guys. I'm looking at these charts and I'm like, okay, and we're finding more opportunities now that stuff that's been off the radar for months and months is now waking up. We're getting this huge squeeze out of IWM, which is awesome because, obviously there's 2,000 companies that are squeezing higher rather than just the 500 in the SPY. It actually gives you way more opportunities to find alpha and to find great plays. So I love that. UNH are already triggering a alert that I set. We're going to need to watch that tomorrow. Y'all have a great night. God bless. Get some good sleep. I think the rest of the week is going to be, the rest of this month might be fire. See you in the morning.